to Mystic Moons. How are you today? And thank you very much for joining. Today we're going to take a serious conversation. So much is happening in the world. We don't even know just which way things are going. There's so much talk of war. Negative energy is everywhere. It's as though that people don't seem to want to really go in any direction other than something that is totally chaos. Chaos is everywhere. I mean, we can all block it off if it's not happening in front of our faces, but we know things are happening around the world. South America, we have Venezuela, we have Mexico and Central America, we have Ukraine, we have Russia, we have Poland, we have Hungary, we have endless. Middle East, we have Gaza, we have Syria, we have all these things going on. And it's almost as though, why, just why is all this chaotic negativity happening? I mean, why? What is the point of it all? I mean, we know the depopulation and we know that power surges. We know that there's lots of greed in the world. We all know in Gaza, for instance, they do have a huge gas reserves, huge gas energy reserves. And that is something that others have looked upon with saliva coming down their throats, out of their mouths, oozing, I want what you have. Is that what war is all about? Chaos is all about craving, desiring, yearning for what's not yours but belongs to somebody else. Perhaps that is war. Perhaps that is the nature of what? Of I want everything in front of my face. I want what's yours. I want what I can't have. Because it doesn't belong to you, does it make it more desirable? Does it make it something more what? More tasty, more just to having. Why can people just get along? You know, also too, you have to keep in mind, now we're not just humans. We're not just humans, ignorant humans, stupid humans. We're humans that are able to be possessed. Hello? We're able to be possessed by different spirits, different beings. And we can't say that somebody is demonically per se possessed. We have to say that someone, we will all believe in the powers higher than our human selves, 3-dimension, 4-dimension, taste, touch, that stuff. But when somebody is inflicting and trying to drain your energy, drain your blood, trying to kill you, then we into a whole different scope of things. The need, the want, the grasping of everything. The grasping of I want what you have. And today we're going to go into one part of it. One part of the need, the bigotry, if I can use that word. The bigotry, that's a made-up word. But why can't I make up my own words? You can make up your own words. You understand what I'm talking about. Now, we're talking today, we're going to have a reading. So sit back. We're not even going to go anywhere but sit in our own quiet, secure abodes. At least, even if it's only for this night that you're in, this present time, you listen to this, in a hotel, in a tent, in a palace, it doesn't matter. You have to ask yourselves, the makeup of us. Hello, how are you? The makeup of us, what are we? Where are we going? Where are we going? We're shouting and screaming, and people are, I'm a king, I'm a dictator, I'm a PM, prime minister, I'm a legislator, I'm, me. No, let's go back. Let's step back a minute. Let's go back to the Middle East, right? Now, we're not going to talk about Ukraine at this moment. We're just going to talk about the Middle East. Now, Israel has been around since 1945. We all know that. And I used to be a fan of Golda Meir. Now, Golda said she was a Palestinian. You go look it up. You can find out. She did not say she was Israeli. She said she was a Palestinian. So we all know that Palestine did exist. However, there's always been somebody who's been the mouthpiece for a leader for a group of people: the Israelis, the Palestinians, the Americans, the Germans, etc., etc., etc. Okay, just give me on that for a second. Now, Israel has been very industrious since 1945 and created itself into many different. They did a lot with the desert. They did a lot. They were given credit. Now, there's always a thing. Now, when you're doing something controversial, something that you have plans for, and these plans just didn't develop overnight. Last weekend, now you heard of good cop and bad cop, good cop and bad cop. So let's just say, Mystic Moon listeners, did Israel create Hamas? Good cop, bad cop, right? Hamas. Now, not that the average foot soldier, foot soldier, or the average hamburger, you know what I mean, the low level soldier, not the commanders, not the lieutenants, but I mean the ones, the leaders, the top officials. I'm talking about this because, the army, the military, a lot of things are on the need to know basis. So that's where it comes into asking the spirits, asking the universe, why is the earth, why are certain parts of the earth so chaotic, right? What is it? What is it? Is it genetic? Is it in the ground, Gaia? The chaos, the blood from time past, that the spirits, the unrestful? What is it? What is it? But before we speculate to all this, let's get back to the question. Did Israel create Hamas? And is Netanyahu managing it? Is he managing? Is he the leader? Because the leaders, do you know who runs? Okay, so I'm not talking about the person that gets on the podium and says, "Greetings, people of my country, blah, 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 blah." We're not talking about that. We're talking about the people in the poker room, the shadow. We're talking about the people you can't see, or the entities you can't see. Now, this is just assuming that Earth is only populated by humans. Well, that's another subject altogether. But right now, let's go back and talk. We're talking about Israel and Hamas. Right? Now, Palestine has been in a state of destruction. And everything that the hospitals, the schools, the food centers, the buildings, the residential places has been in the name of Hamas, conquering Hamas. Now, we're going to ask the spirits, the universe, beings alive and beings who have passed. Tell us. Energy is energy. High frequency just doesn't dissipate. It doesn't just disappear. No. Did Israel create Hamas? And is it managed by Netanyahu? That's almost two different questions, but I know a lot of Israelis are tired of war. They're tired of being, Israel itself has been in a state of civil war. All war countries are in a state of civil war. There's always people that don't want war, that are happy with their 2x4 property. And there's people that want hectares and hectares and miles to satisfy, acres and acres to satisfy their need of control. The corporations. Some people think they are absolute corporations and that there is a hierarchy, a pyramid. No. You and I may not be part of that pyramid. However, we may not be on the top. Of course not. We don't know. You don't even know, because physical is physical, what we can see with our eyes. We assume there's a back. We only see two dimensions. We don't know. We assume that there is in front of, like we see people, we see the front of them, we see the back of them, and we assume there is a front or a back to them, but we don't know for sure, do we? No, we don't. But anyway, I'm trying to show you we have very limited, without the help of the divine, the other beings, other entities. we have very little to go by. That's why we're so easily led like sheep or like monkeys or like some kind of closed-minded. And we're easily programmed with sound, with music, with words, with cute phrases that really don't describe the need that we all have to eat, drink, and have shelter and live in peace. No. These words are just we have slogans, empty slogans, like we're some sort of products. Maybe we are products. And we're asking what products is hum. I can't even say the word now. I feel so overcome with emotion. Hamas, a product of Israel. And is it managed by Netanyahu? Now, let's see. Let's take this card. I'm taking different ones. Feeling, what do I get? Now, is it possible? Can we see, is Hamas? I'm feeling, is Hamas? Picking a few cards out of this pile. Is Hamas created by Israel? All right, now, let's see. All right, Hamas. All right. Now, this one's also poking out. All right, now let's see what we have. Now, we're going to see, keep on saying the word now. All right, we have the question. Now, the first thing we get is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Well, a state of fire, an acceptance of fire, passion, energy. Think of fire, heat, vivid, scorching, motion. Think of those words, right? And the Queen of Wands would be a general acceptance, a general condition, a flavor, more than a flavor, more or less. I'll push this over here. More or less the current, right? So it could even be the current of war, excitement. Maybe war, power, strife is stimulating, very stimulating. And maybe that's why it exists, because it's exciting. Excuse me. Because it's exciting, you don't know. You don't know where it's going. And it's also the idea. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, pages or ideas are the basic premise of something, the sketch, the pattern, like the background or the scope of it, Hamas. Here we have a need for expansionism, right? The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Expansionism, the fire, the fervor, the reason, almost the theocratic belief. The belief system, the fire that gives people a reason to live and to join communities. And then we have here the Page of Pentacles, the Earth. Expansionism again. You feel that. Hamas. Hamas could be a great agent. Next card we have. Oh, we have the Page of Cups. Twofold. Cups, palatable, and pages, and two pages. Pentacles and cups. A passion, a reason. Hamas. And you must control good cop, bad cop. Good cop, bad cop, and the control factor by the Queen of Wands. Two conditions. Israel and Hamas and the Gaza. Hamas. And forget about the area. It's the agents. It's the whole play. And do all corporations have their departments? Departments. It's almost like HR, right? Ooh, and look at this. We have the Five of Pentacles. Now, all fives are conditions. They can't remain the same. They're not stationary, but there are directions. They are states. Not states in terms of country, but states in terms of emotionality. It states in terms of where it leads, where it's going. Meaning, almost as though the greed is so important. The greed is so important that they would not know how to occupy themselves. Like Israel without Hamas, without creating a bad cop, would not know how to gain power, gain meaning, existence. That's where they get their strength. That's the strength. Now, we all know about the USS Liberty, happened in the 60s. We all know about many things, and then you can go look it up if you don't know about it. There's always the perpetrator, the person who's the aggressor. There's a reason for the people to be aggressive. There's a reason for anyone to be aggressive. It gives them strength over people, sucking up like vampires. Now, we all know people, our next door neighbors, the people that we see we travel in our cars on the highway. How many people out there need to oppress another person? How many people need to feed? They get a look, they suck you in. Countries do that, people do that, leaders do that. Leaders are people. People make up governments. And we're flawed. We are flawed because we don't know at times when to put the brakes on. And there is a lot of proof that Israel created Hamas. And not Netanyahu, he's just too cocky. Oh, and people, for all the wealth, I can have this and I can have that if I only do this and I do that. That is our human weakness. Line in the sand, the red line, the line that can't be crossed, that is crossed. Did Israel create Hamas? It's very tangible. It makes sense. When you have an enemy, you want an enemy. Do you really want an enemy that you can't control? You want an enemy you can control, and an excuse. It's almost as though you have a married couple and it's not the right relationship. And you need that weakness to feel strong. You need that person, that unbalance, to feel, to gain, to crutch, as a crutch. Hamas is Israel's crutch, excuse. And then you have other factors that yield itself. Think about it. Good cop, bad cop. It's all the same. It's repeated time and time in history. Union under my control. Kingdom. How many times, how many people have faded in and out of our human history with kingdoms, domains, countries, call them what you like, republics, empires. Many people. And the present day leaders are no exception. The American empire, we have our bases, with 1,000+ bases. Are we really the American empire? But we're not talking about American, excuse me, I'm getting carried away. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about Hamas. It seems very likely they draw their strength from creating. They have gotten a lot from just Hamas. People, women, the average age in Gaza is young, in the teens. Most people, they're young. Lots of women, lots of children. And I've heard that people have said children grow up, so you might as well. That's cruel, very cruel. But we have the Page of Cups and we have the Page of Pentacles. Good cop, bad cop, to put it simply. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Think about it, people. Think about all this. Think about it. And do some research on yourself if you think it's far-fetched. But think about it. It seems very well that the strength of the movement is saying that Hamas is the enemy. Now, who wants an enemy you can't control? Do you have time to do those gains and have that one-sided slaughter if you were actually not in control? Think about it. Or if you have any comments, questions, you want to engage this conversation, what do you think? I'm just grasping with the forces of the universe and thinking about the direction through the spirits, the spirit of humanity, the spirits of humanity. What is humanity? These are all questions that we could ask our wise ones. But it seems very, very likely the good cop, bad cop, we have here played. And it's managed by Netanyahu. Israel created. Because there's such an unequal balance. It's their strength. Well, I'm going to leave you right now. Think about this. Any comments? Welcome. And it's something to ponder, isn't it? Thinking about. It's also been discussed by certain people in the media. And I thought I'd put it to the spirits, the universe, some answers. We shall see how much comes out. Until the next time, Mystic Moon listeners, let us all brave this grave scene which we really are living in. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away if we pretend it's not happening. And think about power. Think about the people you know. People aren't so different all in different parts of the world. No, we all have certain likes and dislikes. That's probably part of the thing of algorithms, isn't it? However, there's more to us than that. So until the next time, Mystic Moon listeners, listen to what's happening, feel what's happening, use your own discernment. What do you think?